Imagine a place so vast it could swallow whole countries, yet it has no cities, no towns, and no villages. Antarctica, the world's last great wilderness, a continent with no flag, no army, and no permanent human residence, only creatures adapted to its brutal, beautiful emptiness. Here, no single nation rules. Instead, it's held in trust for all humanity, a radical experiment in global cooperation. Its borders are the churning Southern Ocean, and its laws are written in the spirit of international agreement, not conquest. The absence of armies is not weakness, but a symbol of peace and scientific pursuit. Antarctica is a blank canvas for our hopes of international harmony, a pristine laboratory for scientists, a test of endurance for adventurers, and a symbol of unity for the world. Even in a divided world, Antarctica reminds us we can set aside differences for a greater purpose. Its silence tells a story of cooperation, not dominion. This unique status was forged through history, exploration, and a conscious decision to preserve the continent for peace and science. The story of Antarctica is not just about ice and snow, but about the best of what humanity can be. This is the story of the continent that belongs to everyone, and to no one.
To understand Antarctica, you must grasp its scale and extremes. Larger than Europe, almost double Australia, it's buried beneath an ice sheet over a mile thick, holding 90% of the world's ice and 70% of its fresh water. It's the coldest, driest, windiest continent, a high white desert where snow, not rain, falls and temperatures can plunge below -80 Celsius. The landscape is stark. No trees, no rivers, just endless white, blue and black rock. Yet life thrives at the edges. The Southern Ocean teems with krill, sustaining whales, penguins, seals and seabirds. Emperor penguins breed in the harshest winters, embodying Antarctic endurance. Antarctica has no indigenous people. No one evolved here, and no one is a permanent resident. Only a few thousand scientists and support staff live here temporarily, in research stations scattered across the ice. Every person is a guest, a temporary custodian of a global commons. This absence of permanent settlement defines Antarctica's identity. It is the only continent where humanity is always just visiting.
For centuries, Antarctica was a myth. Terra Australis Incognita, the unknown southern land. Only in the early 1800s did explorers like Bellingshausen and Bransfield confirm its existence, opening the door to the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. Driven by curiosity and ambition, explorers braved unimaginable hardships, ships crushed by ice, months of darkness, and the constant threat of starvation. Legends like Scott, Amundsen, and Shackleton pushed human limits, mapping the continent and conducting pioneering science. Shackleton's endurance expedition became the ultimate survival story. His crew stranded for 2 years, yet all survived thanks to extraordinary leadership. These stories of courage and resilience cemented Antarctica's place in our imagination. The heroic age was a time when human will met the raw power of the Antarctic, and legends were born.
The quest to reach the South Pole became the ultimate prize of the heroic age. 2 teams raced, Amundsen's Norwegians, methodical and prepared, and Scott's British, burdened by science and flawed logistics. Amundsen relied on dog sleds and Inuit wisdom, establishing supply depots with precision. Scott's team struggled with unreliable machines, unsuitable ponies, and exhausting man-hauling. On December 14, 1911, Amundsen's team reached the pole first, planting the Norwegian flag. Scott's party arrived a month later, devastated and weakened. Their return became a death march. Scott and his companions perished just miles from safety. Amundsen's triumph and Scott's tragedy became legend, a stark lesson in the unforgiving nature of Antarctica. The race to the pole was a story of planning versus perseverance, and the high cost of ambition. It remains one of exploration's most compelling tales.
After the heroic age, Antarctica became a stage for national interests and territorial claims. As the Cold War loomed, fears grew that Antarctica could become a battleground for rival powers. The International Geophysical Year of 1957-58 changed everything. 12 nations built research stations and worked together, even across ideological divides. This unprecedented cooperation inspired the Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959. The treaty declared Antarctica a zone of peace, banning military activity and promoting scientific freedom. Territorial claims were frozen, allowing nations to collaborate without conflict. The Antarctic Treaty transformed the continent into a symbol of collective stewardship. It remains a landmark in international diplomacy and environmental protection.
Why do nations pour resources into Antarctica? Science and strategy. The ice holds a climate archive. Ice cores reveal Earth's past, helping us understand climate change. Antarctica is a platform for astronomy, geology, and biology. Its extreme conditions offer unique research opportunities. The continent is also a global monitoring post, tracking ozone, ocean currents, and more. Beneath the ice lie potential mineral and freshwater resources currently protected, but always of interest. By maintaining a presence, nations secure influence over Antarctica's future. Investment here is about science, but also about a seat at the table for whatever comes next. Antarctica is both a laboratory and a strategic frontier.
Life at an Antarctic research station is a unique blend of science and survival. In summer, stations bustle with international teams. In winter, a small crew endures months of darkness and isolation. People from around the world work side by side. What matters is contribution, not nationality. Cooperation is essential. Stations share resources, transport, and emergency aid. A crisis at one station brings help from the nearest neighbor, regardless of flag. This spirit creates a continent-wide community, where unity trumps rivalry. Antarctic culture is born from shared hardship. Celebrations like Midwinter's Day unite all stations. In this extreme environment, humanity's best qualities come to the fore. Antarctica is proof that people can set aside differences and work as one.
In a world of conflict, Antarctica stands as an inspiring exception. Governed by consensus, not force, it's a zone of peace and scientific freedom. The Antarctic Treaty is a model for managing global commons, resources that belong to all, not one. Here, nations cooperate for the greater good, setting aside disputes for shared goals. Climate change and resource pressures threaten Antarctica, but its collaborative framework is our best hope for protection. The continent's greatest value is the example it sets, that cooperation is not only possible but essential. Antarctica challenges us to look beyond borders and act as stewards of our planet. Its story is a lesson in our own better nature, written in ice, for all humanity to read.